Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kirill, your justice analyst from Belarus living in Germany, and it's time to continue with Eurovision 2026 entries. Today it's time to talk about the country whose participation became such a hot debate topic in the last few years due to political situation, and of course it's Israel. National broadcaster Kan has decided to pick the participant for Israel using the reality show The Next Rising Star. This format they have used every year since 2015 with a couple of exceptions. It has proven to be successful, and after weeks of this competition, Noam Bettan, he's 28 years old, has been crowned as the winner. He comes from a small town near Tel Aviv called Ra'anana. Interestingly, from the same town, Yuval Raphael and Noah Kirill, the past representatives of Israel, also come from.
Feminine, I'm gonna stand here like a unicorn. If you say, yeah, take my eyes,
He is not really a totally new artist in Israel. He already had a couple of successful songs, but his career began, we can say, in 2018 after his military service, where he joined another singing show in Israel. In every episode of that show, Noam had to perform covers of some famous songs, trying to achieve as many points from the audience and from the producer of the show as possible. So the possible total was 750, when 650 come from the audience members and 100 is awarded by the jury. The performance, which I have just shown you, managed to get 746 points out of the possible 750, so absolutely crazy result. And during that show, he has performed one of the covers of Stromae's song called Formidable, which he later released as sort of a single, which he again performed during The Next Rising Star. And since then, Formidable became one of his signature songs. He actually managed to achieve third place in that show. His real own career breakthrough happened in 2021 with the release of his first album, which featured so many songs which now have more than 1 million views on YouTube, but this one has still the highest amount. 3 songs from that album have managed to enter Israeli top 100 singles chart, and in 2025, with the help of the producer Nadav Aharoni, shortly known as Navi, he has released his another single called Madam, which to this day is his most successful single, which reached number 2 in the Israeli singles chart. And exactly with this song, during his first performance in The Next Rising Star, he managed to get an incredible score of 98%, convincing all the juries and the public. Through all the episodes of this year, this was the only performance which managed to get such an incredibly high score. Last year, for example, for comparison, this score was achieved only by Yuval Raphael with her very first performance of Anyone by Demi Lovato. He also managed to get 96% performing his original song from 2021 album called Buba. He also got an incredible score performing the cover of Mon Amour with Yuval Raphael. If you remember, Yuval's entry featured one verse in French because she used to live in Switzerland, in Geneva, and the family of Noam actually comes from France. They are the French Jewish family, and that's why in the final of the show he has performed the cover of another French song, Dernière Danse by Indila. With this performance of Dernière Danse, he managed to convince all the juries, getting 12 points from all of them in the final of The Next Star show, and also absolutely destroying the televote with an incredibly high result. But what about his Eurovision entry? His Eurovision song titled Michel has been written by two very famous Israeli composers, Nadav Aharoni, Navi, who also produced his song Madame, and also Tzilil Klifi, and the lyrics were also co-written by Noam himself and even Yuval Raphael. But what do we know about Nadav Aharoni apart from the fact that he produced the song Madame for Noam Bettan? So he is actually a super famous producer and composer in Israel. He wrote songs for so many famous artists. I will just include for you these two, which he wrote for the ex-Eurovision contestants Noa Kirel and Nadav Guech.
What you see is what you get,
The list of works of Tzilil Klifi is definitely not shorter, and she even already wrote 2 songs for Israeli national selections in the past.
There's nothing that can bring us down. Yalla, we can bring everyone like a tarakata. Right now, everybody's watching me.
I personally absolutely love Rakata and Marionette. They're both in my playlist, and I think I definitely prefer both of the songs to the actual winners of those competitions. That's why I just can't wait to hear Noam Bettan's song Michel. So during my first listen, I will listen to the whole studio version without stopping it, just giving you my small remarks. Then I will take a look at the lyrics of the song to understand what it is about, and afterwards I will again go for the official music video, where I will just stop throughout to give you my more extensive comments. So let's start. I don't really know what to expect from this entry, but I don't think it will be such a dramatic, powerful ballad like it was in the last 2 years, just simply knowing what kind of artist Noam is, what kind of composers have worked on the song. However, Yuval Raphael is of course also one of the co-writers. Let's just see. The beginning already doesn't sound like a ballad, but definitely like a mid-tempo song. But the lyrics are not extremely helpful for me on the screen at this point of time. I guess now we have lyrics in French, which of course makes sense knowing his background. It definitely gives a little bit of this Stromae vibe. It's a nice banger, nice melody, love that. So it's like a dramatic ballad, but also a dancey track, so quite a fusion of both. Interesting. Not really sure what this lyrics should mean. We should definitely check it out afterwards. I guess he's saying that he's letting her go, something like that. The queen of problems, Michel. Okay. The song managed to sound even more French than the French entry, in my opinion. The strings definitely sound like some kind of flute. This a cappella moment definitely gave a little bit of Mon Amour vibe, the French entry. Wow, quite an unordinary entry from Israel this year. So what can I say about this entry? I think it's a perfect fusion of the styles Noam Bettan likes to perform in. It's definitely sort of a combination of Mon Amour by Slimane, of the typical style of Stromae. So in my opinion, this song, especially with the inclusion of lyrics in French, in Hebrew, in English, totally reflects who Noam Bettan is like an artist. So I think it's a perfect choice of a song for him, and I'm sure he will have so much fun performing this on stage in Vienna. But now let's take a look at the lyrics of the song to see what it is about. Of course, I'm showing you here the lyrics completely translated to English, because I don't really speak French as well and definitely do not speak any Hebrew. But already in the first line, Noam is saying that this is a toxic love, so this is a story of toxic relationship. This mysterious woman, Michelle, was his light in the past. In the second pre-chorus, he says an angel, but it's a hell trapped in your carousel, round and round, under your spell. So it seems like initially she appeared to him to be his angel, his light, but the way how relationship developed just trapped him, plunged him into the darkness. In the first chorus, he says, "You're my pain, I was only a decoration for you. I scream, I dance with pain." And of course, in the chorus, as I have anticipated, he is saying, "Michelle, I let you go, goodbye my beautiful, I love you, but you are definitely the queen of problems." So he finally found strength in himself to break out of this toxic relationship, but still in the bridge right before the last chorus, he's saying that he hopes that she finds love and that the things will be good for both of them. So definitely a very nice message, something important that we do not owe other people if they make us unhappy. We live just once and we all deserve to find the person who will love us in the way how we love them. I guess it's time to take a look at the official music video because unfortunately we do not have a live performance yet. Let's go. He has a very cool outfit. It's quite unique, quite modern. I think he can wear exactly the same on the Eurovision stage. It's very interestingly filmed, so it gives you a feeling that it's filmed with just one camera, but of course he's moving from one scene into another, so it's definitely just a job of good editors. It's so incredibly emotional, but also dancey, so it's just a bouquet of different feelings he's delivering to us through this performance. Michel, je te laisse partir, adieu ma belle. The instrumental is fantastic. It definitely gives more of a French vibe, but there is absolutely nothing wrong about that. But this part definitely reminds us that the song comes from Israel. Walking down Florentine Ocean Eyes Memory. I still do not know what this Florentine exactly mean here, so if you know, please let me know down below in the comments. I was trying to find some information on the internet, but just couldn't. The song is extremely playful, sometimes his vocal is in the spotlight, sometimes more the instrumental part, so definitely offers us everything. I can already totally see the dancers clapping on stage like that. It's always very effective in Eurovision. His voice is definitely incredible. I really love the slight soreness in it, and the way how he's belting these notes is just incredible. The soreness adds to the fact that the song comes through as more raw, as more believable. So this part definitely took inspiration from the performance of Slimane, which I have shown you already after my first listen. It was extremely effective and ensured for him the second place in the jury voting, so who knows, maybe Noam will score incredibly with the juries this time too. Michel, Michel, Michel. And the last note is also extremely beautiful. What can I even say about this one? So Israel definitely managed to do it once again. So they picked a very talented young artist, wrote for him the Eurovision entry, which definitely ticks all the boxes what a perfect Eurovision entry should have. It has a memorable melody, variety throughout the song, a cappella moment, addictive instrumental, and even showcasing different languages. So I'm pretty sure that Israel is awaiting another very high result this year. But now let's take a look what results Israel actually had in the last 5 and 15 years in the Eurovision semi-finals. If we start talking about the official placings of Israel in the Eurovision semi-finals, you can definitely immediately spot this huge change they experienced in 2015. Since then, all results were much higher. It was at the time when they introduced the Next Rising Star as a project to pick the artist for Eurovision, and afterwards they will just compose a perfect song for this artist. Obviously, this formula has led to victory in 2018, but also to the victory in the Eurovision semi-finals in the last 2 years. But if we compare if the juries or the televoters are supporting Israel more, you can see that in the last 5 years we have data anyway only from the televote, the average score is very good. They're place 5 in comparison to 15 countries taking part in their Eurovision semi-final this year. But if we take a look at all the 15 years average, you can see that in the past they used to not qualify almost every year. Unfortunately, due to the televoters, the juries were very much more supportive. But since the introduction of their new selection method in 2015, the results changed. Televoters love Israel, and I think this year will not be an exception. And on which semi-final Israel is taking part this year? So last 2 years, I remember it was for sure a second semi-final, but as you can see on your screen, this year Noam Bettan will take part in the second half of the first semi-final along the countries like San Marino, Poland, Lithuania, Serbia. I have to say, if I'm looking at this first semi-final contestants, I definitely see enough entries which might struggle to qualify, and I don't think that Israel might be one of them. But now let's take a quick look at the Eurovision Scoreboard app to see how Eurovision fans are ranking this entry. So right now Noam Bettan with his song Michelle is on place 24, which is below 3 out of finalists, Germany, UK and Italy, still above 11 other countries. So even Eurovision fans still see Israel very much qualifying to the final, because in the final we will have 25 songs this year. But in reality, of course, he will do much better. I'm pretty sure that this entry will be at least in top 10 of the televote. But what about the bookmaker odds? I remember somewhere in the beginning when I was looking, Israel was actually on place 1, but right now Israel has fell on place 7. It is still a great result, and I think Israel doesn't have to fight for the victory each and every year, but I definitely see a lot of juries and also televoters voting for this one, so I think top 10 finish is very much guaranteed, but let's see how high Israel will climb in the end. So this is what I think about Israeli entry for Eurovision 2026 Michelle by Noam Bettan. I'm glad that Israel is not trying to follow this very successful formula of sending female artists with powerful ballads for the 3rd year in a row. I think 2 years was already a great record. They already had 4th place, they had 2nd place, so now it's time to freshen up, try something new, and I think Noam will definitely make the whole country proud. Please let me know down below in the comments, what did you think about this entry? Do you think it might actually fight for the victory, or do you think that maybe Israel will not be in top 10 this year? Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.